Good morning, my dear students. Good morning, one and all. Welcome to the fifth and final lecture of the course. The topic name is Amazon, Walmart, and Alibaba Analysis the Future of E-commerce. According to Wainoli Boson has been explained about that for decades the global economy has thrived on the internet, and for the better part of the time it has been subjected to a centralized system, while the world is yet to fully transition the Web 3.0 and a more decentralized system. And major e-commerce giants like Amazon, Walmart, and Alibaba, to mention a few, have dominated the internet commerce industry in the existing Web 2.0 iteration. Notably, this is a set of corporations have enormous influence across most aspects of online commercial experience and have gained major grounds over the years. The reason for this, however, is not far-fetched, and considering that the existing internet iteration, Web 2.0, and it provides a conductive environment for monopoly to thrive. So, however, with the latest Web 3.0 iteration, which is open and trustless, secure and decentralized, this is going to change. And before we look forward to the future of e-commerce beyond the existing heavyweights, it is important to take a step back to understand the evolution of web technology. So, understanding the evolution of web technology, we need to concentrate about the evolution process. And every generation spanning innovation has one thing is very common. They passed through a transformative phase that made them more time relevant and ultimately fit for the present world. And you know that the typical examples of such innovations include the transition from locomotive trains to electric bullet trains, and monochrome television to smart television like LED, LCD model, and even down the internet. And talking about the internet, Tim Berners-Lee coined that the term Web 1.0 to describe the first iteration of the internet, which appeared in 1989. Since then, the internet has had two major transitions. First one and to Web 2.0 and subsequently to Web 3.0. So notably, each iteration of the internet was created to solve existing challenges associated with the previous or outdated version. For instance, a Web 1.0 was majorly a read or text-only internet, and as such lost its appeal after a while. On the other hand, Web 2.0 served in a much more entertaining and interactive way of exploring the internet. Specifically, these versions of the web allowed users to send images, videos, and other media files, while also enabling seamless interactions among others. But now we are using Web 3.0. We know that Web 3.0 is the most recent iteration of the internet, ushering in a more decentralized and open internet where users and creators have equal input in the decision making processes. Similarly, the Web 3.0 iteration eliminates a central authority and the high level of expense of communicating with the middleman or gateway services, among other things. Now that we have an understanding of the web iteration process and how has online commerce fit into their respective web iteration. So how e-commerce is evolving with each web iteration. You know, each web iteration introduces a unique online commerce experience. With 1.0 comes and commerce 1.0, while commerce 2.0 and 3.0 is applicable to web 2.0 and 3.0 iteration respectively. The first commerce experience happens to be a very hybrid of text and physical stores. Then, because of the boring nature of the internet, and only a few people had access to commerce online, and those that were limited by the kind of activity they can do online. For instance, they could send text and make reservations for a product on the physical store, but cannot necessarily complete the purchase online. While big brands like Walmart and Costco were the biggest winner in the era, they leveraged their chain of physical stores and were able to reach customers residing in the immediate communities. Ultimately, the first commerce experience can be classified as a centralized retail experience. The Commerce 2.0, on the other hand, ushers a new era of centralized e-commerce as well as a more interactive online shopping experience. According to various industry analysts, this type of iteration of commerce thrived on a low cost, high scale model, implying that there is a low entry barrier and coupled with a seamless onboarding process. Sadly, one of the drawbacks of this era of commerce is that it concentrated power in the hands of a few players like Walmart, Alibaba, etc., making it nearly impossible for small firms to prosper. The major killer for Commerce 2.0 is a monopoly, which on the other hand thrives on centralized authority. Uh, this also means that this era of commerce is largely based on first come, first serve policy. That's why the people who arrive earliest get served on treated with high level preferences before the people who arrive later. Interestingly, the narrative is about to change with a commerce 3.0 on the third iteration of the internet, which is decentralized in this case. And this one case in the commerce 3.0 wants to re-engineer the overall online commerce experience. So specifically by eliminating central authority and lowering the extra cost of interfacing with middlemen or gateway services, and the Commerce 3.0 aims to build an open economy for creators and NCOs alike. So while an open economy thrives on trust, transparency, and borderless exchange, it also creates a conducive atmosphere for buyers and sellers to interface directly with one another without any form of restrictions or third-party interference. Ultimately, the future of e-commerce is far from monopolizing, and while the existing customer and commerce model is favorable to few, the future of e-commerce is favorable to all. Okay, my dear students, I hope you have enjoyed the fifth session and the course. Thank you once again, and thank you all.